Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take a journey through a typical day, but we're not going to focus on what we do. Nope, we're going to dive into what we feel, from that first moment you open your eyes all the way to those quiet evening hours. So, let's get into it.
So let me ask you something. It's a question you probably hear, I don't know, a dozen times a day. How are you today? Simple, right? But hold on. Before you answer, just take a real second. Think about it. Right now, at this very moment, how are you really doing?
And if you're anything like me, I bet I know what just popped into your head. I'm fine. It's like a reflex, isn't it? It's just easy. It's our go-to, one-size-fits-all answer for everything. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's push past the automatic answer. How are you really? Because that one little word, fine, man, it can hide a whole universe of feelings, right? It can hide stress or excitement or nervousness, even calm. So what's actually happening behind the scenes?
You see, every time we just say, I'm fine, we're actually missing a huge opportunity. An opportunity to, really connect with someone else. And maybe even more important, an opportunity to connect with ourselves. But guess what? There's a much better way to answer that question.
And here it is. I call it the feeling plus reason formula. It is so simple. Just two little steps. Step one, name your actual feeling. Are you tired, excited, a little bit stressed? And then step two, just add your reason. So instead of I'm fine, you could say something like, I'm feeling really energized today because I actually got a full 8 hours of sleep. See? Simple, but way more honest.
All right, let's start our journey at the very beginning. The alarm goes off, or maybe the sun wakes you up. In that first quiet moment when your eyes open, the feelings are already there, aren't they? Before you've even had a sip of coffee or said a single word.
Yeah, mornings pretty much have two starting lineups, don't they? On one side, you've got team peaceful and calm. That's when you wake up and the day feels like this fresh, clean page just waiting for you. But then there's the other team tired and grumpy. And on those days, it feels like there's a little gray rain cloud just hanging right over your head.
Now, sometimes it's not even about your mood, is it? It's purely physical. And there's a perfect phrase for that. Feeling under the weather. This is when your body is just not cooperating. Maybe you've got a headache, or you just feel kind of weak and sniffly, like a cold is coming on.
And hey, look at that. The formula is right there. The feeling? Under the weather. The reason? I think I'm getting a cold. It's a super clear and honest way to say what's up.
Okay, here's another classic, especially on a big day. Ever get butterflies in your stomach? It's not like you're actually sick. It's that weird, fluttery, fizzy feeling, right? It's like a mix of excitement and maybe a little bit of fear, all having a party in your stomach.
This is exactly it, You have a huge presentation for work, or maybe a job interview, or even a first date. That phrase just perfectly captures that feeling of nervous excitement.
So, the morning rush is over, and now life just gets louder, right? The emails start flooding in, the phone starts buzzing, work, school. The middle of the day is here, and it brings a whole new mix of feelings with it.
You ever have one of those days where it feels like your nerves are stretched out like a rubber band just about to snap? That is exactly what it means to be on edge. You're just sensitive. And little things that you normally wouldn't even notice, like someone chewing too loudly or a slow computer, suddenly feel incredibly annoying.
And here's a classic example. The feeling is on edge. And the reason? Oh yeah, so many deadlines. It's that classic feeling when work and life just start piling on top of you. And that feeling of being on edge can be the start of a slippery slope. First, you're just stressed, but then that can turn into being overwhelmed, which feels like you're literally drowning under a giant wave of things to do. And if that goes on for too long, you hit burnout. And burnout, that's feeling completely empty, like a candle that's been burned all the way down to the metal. There's just nothing left to give.
But you know what? Feelings aren't always neat and tidy. They're usually messy. They're not just black or white. And sometimes you can feel two totally opposite things at the very same time. And that is 100% normal.
This is a perfect example. You can be totally excited about a new job and the bigger paycheck, but at the same time, feel really sad about leaving your old work friends. It's okay for both of those feelings to be true.
And then, finally, the day starts to wind down. The sun sets, the emails stop pinging, the evening's here. And as the world outside gets quieter,
Sometimes the world inside our heads gets a whole lot louder.
Yeah, evenings can really go one of two ways, can't they? Some nights are all about feeling cozy and relaxed. It's that good kind of tired, you know? Your brain finally gets to kick off its shoes and just chill. But then, there are the other nights, the lonely and sad ones, when the silence in the room just makes you feel way too alone with your own thoughts.
Here's a great phrase for those heavy kind of evenings. Feeling down in the dumps. It's when you just feel sad and low, and you don't really have the energy for anything. And a lot of the time, there isn't even a big reason for it. You just feel heavy. But hey, on the flip side, evenings can also bring total joy. To be on cloud nine is the complete opposite of feeling heavy. It's when you feel so happy, so light, that it's like you're literally floating. Maybe you got some great news, or had an amazing chat with a friend, or just accomplished something small that made you feel proud.
Wow, okay. We've been all over the map today, haven't we? From grumpy mornings and stressful afternoons to happy evenings. So let's pull all this together into a handy little emotional toolkit that you can actually use.
Now listen, the goal here is not to memorize this list like it's a vocab test. No way. Just look at these words and phrases. Does one of them jump out at you? Does one of them feel true for you right now? Think of them less like words to study and more like tools you can use to explain what's really happening on the inside.
And that brings us right back where we started, to that one simple question. So, how do you feel right now? But this time, you've got more tools in your belt. Try it. Use that feeling plus reason formula. Take a second just for you. Name the feeling. Add the reason. Because honestly, understanding how you really feel, that's the first step to everything else.